just sit in that chair in a minute. I'll swear you in after the jury gets in.
Okay.
All rise for the jury.
Okay, you may be seated. Hang on 1 minute, Mr. Newman, who is your next witness?
Yes, that'd be Burke on Dr. Perez.
Okay, please raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so you got it.
Yes, I do.
Have a seat, please. You're under oath. State and spell your name for us.
My name is Catherine Perez, Catherine. Last name Perez, Perez.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Newman.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Perez, can you tell us what is your occupation?
I'm currently an assistant medical examiner at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office. I also do part-time work at the Macomb County Medical Examiner's Office.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Perez, how long have you been employed with the Macomb County Medical Examiner's Office?
With Macomb, approximately a year and a half.
Okay. And with Wayne County?
With Wayne County, almost 3 years.
All right. Were you employed as a medical examiner somewhere prior to Wayne County at all?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Dr. Perez, what do you do as a medical examiner? What is your job?
Broadly, as a medical examiner, I perform medical legal autopsies to determine cause and manner of death.
All right. And as a medical examiner with Wayne County and Macomb County, at some point were you involved with an autopsy of an individual by the name of DeJuan Pettis?
Yes.
Okay. And that was a deceased individual. Do you recall how old that individual was?
33 years old.
All right. I want to get some background information from you before we get into the specifics. But in order to become a medical examiner, do you receive some sort of special education?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us, doctor, what is your education?
So broadly, after getting a 4-year undergraduate degree, I went to medical school for 4 years, got my medical doctorate. Then I did a residency, which is postdoc training in anatomic and clinical pathology. That's a 4-year residency. And then I did a subspecialty fellowship for 1 year in forensic pathology. And then I was employed in the medical examiner's office.
Okay, thank you. And where did you go for medical school?
I went to medical school at the University of Illinois in Chicago.
Okay. And after medical school, you indicated you did a residency, was it?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you do your residency?
At the University of Michigan.
And after residency, you said you did a fellowship, was it?
Yes.
Okay, and what is a fellowship?
A fellowship is a subspecialized training period.
All right. How long was that training period?
1 year.
All right. And I'm sorry, where did you say you did that at?
I did that at the University of Michigan back when they were partnered with Wayne County. Currently, they are not partnered anymore.
Okay. All right. And besides your education, well, let me ask you, when you do your residency at the University of Michigan, are you specialized in some sort of way?
In residency, I have a medical doctorate. At the end of residency, I did take my board exams in anatomic and clinical pathology.
All right. And can you tell the jury what does that mean, anatomical and clinical pathology?
So broadly, anatomic pathology is the study of disease in organs and tissues, and clinical pathology focuses more on fluids and other ancillary tests like genetics.
Okay. All right. And when you began your fellowship, can you describe for the jury what does that entail? What do you do in a fellowship?
So a fellowship is specialized subspecialty training. I did my fellowship in forensic pathology. As part of the fellowship, I work with the medical examiner's office. We perform up to 250 autopsies, do rotations through many areas related to forensics, including like ballistics or toxicology, in order to get better training to be a forensic pathologist.
Okay. And can you tell the jury, and we've heard some of this already, but a forensic pathologist, is that your specialty at this point in time?
Yes.
Okay. What is forensic pathology?
So forensic pathology is a specialization of anatomic pathology. So we're the ones who perform medical legal autopsies to determine cause and manner of death.
All right. And when you say you determine cause of death, what do you mean by that?
So broadly, cause of death is the disease or injury that leads to death.
Okay. And what do you mean by manner of death?
Manner of death is a classification of the circumstances surrounding death.
Okay. And are there different categories of manner of death that you use to classify the type of death that it is for the death certificate?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what those are?
There are 5 manners: natural, accident, suicide, homicide, and if one of those can't be determined, indeterminate.
All right. Thank you. Now, after doing your fellowship, you indicated you have worked in the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office for, I think you said 3 years, was it?
Almost 3 years.
All right, okay. And have you, how many autopsies would you say you've performed in the 3 years that you've worked at the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office? Or, not Prosecutor's Office, Medical Examiner's Office?
Probably around 1,500 autopsies.
Okay. All right. And besides your education, when you're doing your fellowship, is that like almost like kind of on the job training, if you will?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Have you received any honors or awards in the area of forensic pathology?
Not specifically forensic pathology.
All right. In the area of, I guess the doctoral. Well, okay. Strike that. Let me ask this: do you currently teach as well, or not?
Yes. Part of my position at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office is teaching.
Okay. All right. And have you been published in the field at all?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been published with regards to?
So there's some publication in regards to handling COVID deaths. There's also unpublished abstracts and presentations in the areas of certain specialized deaths, including pediatric deaths.
Okay. All right. And have you testified in court and been qualified as an expert in the area of forensic pathology?
Yes.
Okay. How many times would you say you've testified and been qualified as an expert in this area, doctor?
Approximately 15 times.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, I would move to ask the court to qualify the witness as an expert in the area of forensic pathology.
No objection. And, Your Honor, for the record, we did indicate to the prosecution our willingness to stipulate to cause and manner of death and the condition of the doctor's autopsy report.
So noted. Okay,
Thank you.
can continue, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Before I get into the specifics of this case, I would place for the record, we did stipulate, agreed to stipulate to admission of People's Exhibit Number 8, which is the photograph identifying the individual DeJuan Pettis, who is the subject of the autopsy. In this case, he was the passenger in the white Durango.
Okay, so noted. Exhibit 8 is admitted.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, doctor, in this case, at some point, you've indicated you performed an autopsy on an individual by the name of DeJuan Pettis?
Yes.
Okay. And you recall when that occurred, that autopsy?
The autopsy was performed on October 1st of 2024.
Okay. And if you can, when you first initially, how does it come about that you become involved with an autopsy for a deceased individual?
Broadly, deaths are reported to our office, and if they meet criteria for a medical examiner's office, they'll be brought in for the docket on the next day, and whoever is the docket doctor on that day will perform that autopsy. So in this case, this decedent met the criteria for an autopsy, and it was my day to perform autopsies.
Okay. All right. So when you are, I guess, assigned, if you will, the autopsy for a particular individual, what do you do to begin that process?
So there's standard procedure. Generally, we will start with an external exam, looking at characteristics of the decedent, so hair color, eye color, height, weight, any injuries, signs of disease. And then we'll do an internal exam, starting with that classic Y-shaped incision, opening up the torso, where we will take off the chest plate and look at each organ, again looking for disease, injuries to help with cause and manner of death. In addition, we'll open up the head, again looking for disease, injury to help determine cause and manner of death. Photos are usually taken during this process, especially externally, and toxicology is taken. Other ancillary tests can be done depending on the type of case.
Okay. And before beginning the process of your external examination, what information or what resources do you have prior to beginning that process about, the circumstances of the death?
When the death is reported, we ask about the circumstances, again, any injuries, medical history. Sometimes we may or may not know a lot if they come from a hospital. For example, we may not know their position in the car if they're coming from a car accident, or what location they came from. We try to elicit as much as we can from whoever is reporting the death. Sometimes we have a longer medical history, especially if they've been in the hospital for a long time, of any injuries or diseases they might have. It depends on the case.
Okay. All right. And in this particular case, do you recall where the deceased came from?
No, I don't recall the location.
Okay. All right. And so when you then, do you recall, did you have any police reports in this particular case that were provided to you?
No, generally we don't get the police report before starting the autopsy. It's something we get after.
Okay. All right. And so at some point then you indicated that you did do an autopsy, and did you start then with the external examination?
Yes.
All right. And when you completed the external examination of Mr. Pettis, can you tell the jury what you observed during your external examination?
Yes. He had injuries, including abrasions, which are scrapes on the skin, and a contusion, which is a bruise. He had abrasions on his right and left cheek, his left anterior arm. Anterior means forward-facing, and posterior means back-facing. So left anterior arm, left posterior forearm, which is the lower part of the arm. He also had abrasions or scrapes on the left hip, right back, left leg, left anterior or dorsal foot, and then the contusion, which is a bruise and scrape abrasion on the right dorsal foot.
Okay. And so when you are examining the body externally, is there a process that you use, from the head down, the feet up? What process do you use to do that?
Depending on the case, usually head down.
Okay. All right. And did you do that in this case?
Yes.
All right. And do you document those, as you're doing the autopsy, do you document those injuries in some way?
Yes.
Okay. How so?
Through a diagram, a body diagram.
Okay. All right. You indicated also there are photos that are taken as well.
Yes.
Okay. So after completing the external examination on Mr. Pettis, what did you do?
After the external examination is done, we proceed to the internal examination.
All right. And when you completed the internal examination, what injuries did you find with regards to the internal?
So he had many internal injuries, starting with the head. He had what's called a subdural hematoma.
And what is that?
The dura is a thick fibrous membrane overlying the brain that's underneath the skull. And when there's bleeding underneath that, it's called subdural. So this is bleeding between the brain and that thick fibrous membrane. So he had this on both sides of the top of his head. He also had what's called subarachnoid hemorrhage. So again, overlying the brain is another membrane that's thinner and more translucent. So he had bleeding under that membrane on multiple areas of his brain. He also had lacerations of the brainstem, specifically the area called the medulla, which connects the brain to the spinal cord. He also had a laceration of the cerebellum, which is part of the brain sitting posteriorly or in the back. He had what's called an atlanto-occipital dislocation fracture. So this is dislocation of the spinal cord and column between the bottom of the head and the first cervical vertebra. He also had a hinge fracture. And
What
this
is, and let me ask some questions. Okay. What is a hinge fracture?
So this is a fracture at the base of the skull. And in this case, it's from ear to ear at the base of the skull. And you see this best after taking the brain out.
Okay. And what other injuries did you see internally?
In the torso, he had lacerations or tearing of the pericardium. So the pericardium is a fibrous membrane surrounding the heart. He also had lacerations of the spleen, which is a lymphatic organ. He also had lacerations of the mesentery. The mesentery is connective fatty tissue surrounding and protecting your bowels. He also had contusions or internal bruising or bleeding in the tissue of the mesentery, and also contusions of the lungs. He had multiple rib fractures, left, right, front, and back. Also had fractures of the sternum, which is that bone that connects the rib at the front of your chest cavity. He also had a fracture of his lumbar vertebrae. So again, the spinal cord and the lumbar is close to the hips, connecting to the thoracic spine.
Okay. Thank you. After conducting and completing the internal examination, what did you do at that point with regards to your autopsy?
So after completing the internal examination, in this case, we didn't need to take ancillary testing or additional dissections for other injuries. The body's generally closed up and then given to the funeral home for the family.
Okay. All right. So upon completing your examination, is part of your duties then as the medical examiner looking at that evidence and determining a cause of death?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you determine the cause of death to be in this particular case?
Multiple injuries.
Okay. All right. Would those be blunt force trauma injuries?
Yes.
Okay. And can you, for just layman terms, define what is a blunt force trauma injury?
Broadly, a blunt force trauma would be like an impact, and this is in comparison to a sharp force injury, which is usually involving some sort of knife or something sharp that can stab or cut, and also in comparison to a firearm injury.
Okay. And so upon determining the cause of death, are you then responsible as the medical examiner to classify the death or the manner of death?
Yes.
All right. And what did you classify the manner of death for with regards to Mr. Pettis?
Accident.
Okay. And when you classify it as an accident, what does that mean?
So broadly, an accident is a non-natural death that happens due to an unplanned or unexpected event.
Okay. All right. And so after completing the autopsy and making your determinations, did you complete a report of some type?
Yes.
Okay, is that a post-mortem report?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask. I'm marking it as people's number 17, Your Honor. May I approach?
Yes.
Mr. Newman, may I see it?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
I'm showing you People's Proposed Exhibit 17. Can you tell me what that is?
So this is my autopsy report and body diagram.
All right. And that is the report that you completed with regards to Mr. Pettis.
Yes.
All right. We would move for admission of 17, Your Honor.
No objection.
It's admitted.
Thank you. Doctor, would the injuries, the internal injuries that you observed in Mr. Pettis's body, would those injuries be consistent with a motor vehicle crash at high speed?
Yes, they would be consistent.
Okay, thank you. No, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Any other questions for this witness?
Thank you. You may step down. Your next witness?
People are calling.
You can follow. Thank you.
Lieutenant Timothy